Good morning, everyone. This is Get Fit with Lisa Fasulo. We are here on this gorgeous beach again. We're going to film a great exercise segment. I want to thank my guest, Julia. She drove all the way from Nashua, New Hampshire today. She watches the show regularly. She's going to be my demo for the day. We're going to start with a warm-up. So make sure you guys go grab your mat, grab your water, grab a towel if you need it, and we'll be right back in 1 second. Starting with a warm-up. Again, Julia is here. She's going to demo for me today. So this is her first time with me, so she's not quite used to everything I say and how I do say it. So if we have to correct, if we have to stop, keep in mind she's beginning with me for the very first time. So we're just going to have fun with this, okay?
Okay.
All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to start right in with stationary lunges, moving to the front, okay? Does not matter what leg you're going to start with. Good. Now what I'm going to have her do is I want to make sure as she's doing the lunges, go ahead, sweetheart. She's going to be switching legs. So the next time you come up with the lunge, go into the other leg for me. Perfect. Stepping back, keeping all of your pressure on your heel. Whenever you're doing a lunge, you always want to push through the heel versus the toe. Great. Knee is not going over the toe, coming right back for me. Now I want you to pick up the pace just a little bit. And the reason I'm having her pick up her pace is because I want her heart rate to start coming up a little bit more. So these aren't lunges that we're doing with a form of a weight or anything like that, so your pace can go a little bit quicker. Keeping in mind, noticing we're not using any equipment, we're outside. You don't have to have a gym membership. I preach this all the time to you guys. Good, we're gonna go with 4 more, all right? Making sure you're breathing. Don't forget to breathe for me. People tend to get a little nervous and they stop breathing. That's not my goal here. Good, last one. A little bit different in the sand, isn't it?
It is.
Good. All right, now what I want you to do is I want you to come back. I want you to take your feet a little bit more than hip width. Hip width, guys, for those that are just starting with me, is 2 fists. So sometimes if you actually take your fist and go right in between, perfect. You'll know you're in the perfect form to start doing your squats. So what I want you to do is I want you to squat down for me and come back up. Perfect. Now I'm going to actually push you back a little bit so that you're coming back on your knees. There we go. So this way we're engaging through the glutes. She's engaging her hamstrings. Now I'm going to have you pick up your pace. You're going to go down up for me. There, that's perfect. Good, 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 good. And then we're going to need to take these sweatshirts off pretty soon because it's starting to get a lot warmer than it was when we started here. Nice. And really focus on when you're doing your squats, you always want to go through the heels again. So all of these movements are heel-based movements. If you find yourself going onto your toes, you've completely taken out your glutes, and all women want to have that nice booty. Nice. Good, now I'm going to have you go a little bit even faster for me. Awesome, yeah. Breathing, perfect. Nice, we're going to go with 4 more. Here's 4 and 3. Nice, now in this one I want you to stay down for me. Good, I'm going to have you drop your hands onto your hips. I'm going to have her shift back again a little bit. Yeah, so it's almost like you feel like you're going to fall over. Now I'm going to have you drop that booty just a tiny bit, and I want tiny pulses. Down and up. Yes, perfect. Again, we always do the pulses. Now I'm going to have you stop for a second. I want you to turn sideways so the camera can see what I'm having you do. So you're going to face out into the gorgeous beach for me. Yeah, that way. Yeah, perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift her back. So she's going to feel off center. She's going to feel like she's going to go down. Nice. Back is flat, so I'm going to have you bring your hands forward for me. Leaning there. So there's no curvature to the spine now. Her knees are not over her toes. Her glutes are down now. Go into your pulses for me. Perfect. Breathing. Good. I'm making sure her back is staying flat. Her heart rate's going to start shooting up even more now for me. Good. Go ahead for 4. Nice. 3, I'm just making sure she doesn't come up too high, so I'm kind of pushing on her. Last one, come all the way up for me. You're going to face back to the camera for me. Now, remember when we started, we talked about those plie squats?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have her turn her toes out. Toes up, perfect. So we're engaging a different area now of our glutes and our hamstrings. So whenever you're doing squats or you're doing any form of lunges, you always want to kind of change the direction of your feet. That way versus straight, coming out, we want to hit a little bit the inner thigh too. So you're going to sit back nice and low and come right back up for me. And this is going to change your balance again. Keeping in mind we're on the beach. Balance is already a little shifty. This is why I want you to take your shoes off. Okay. So go ahead nice and slow down. And I'm going to have you bring your hands onto your hips. Perfect. That way the camera can see your pretty face. And come back up. And when you're typically doing these, you can put your hands wherever, but for camera purposes, we don't want to hide the pretty face. Good. Nice. Are you getting warm yet?
I am. I feel that sun. Nice.
It is nice. And keep the weight right on her heels. Now I'm going to have you go down for a second and stay. What I was noticing as she was coming down, her heels were starting to raise up. That's really common. Go ahead and go back into your movement, down and up. So little things like this will make the difference in how you transform your body when you're doing workouts or DVDs or following this program. You want to make sure the heels are grounded.
Is that better?
That is much better. Good. Now I'm going to have you pick up your pace again a little bit for me. Nice. Perfect. We're going to go with 2 more like this. Fabulous. Come up to a stand for me. Take a quick break. And remember again when we were talking in the beginning, I had you coming down and lifting a knee up.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you come down and you lift that knee up, your weight's going to shift into this side. Whatever side is the opposite of the knee that's going up. You want to kind of shift a little bit, and that's going to help you center. Okay, and you can scoot that rock that's off your foot so you don't kick it on me. Okay, so go ahead down, and you're going to lift a knee up. Perfect. Perfect. Come back down. This is a move that kind of takes a little bit to get used to. Good. Now what I want you to do is I want you to switch aside. So you're going to come down like me, coming down, lift up, coming down, lift up. So it's almost like a sumo wrestler. This is a fabulous move to do. Everybody should be doing this type of squat. A lot of people you see, they just do your basic squats. They don't kind of change it up a little bit. But this is one of those things, if you're getting bored with your workout, you need something new to do. You're not finding that you're shifting in your body weight. You're not finding that you're shifting in your body mass. You've got to start doing different moves. You really need to throw these into your workouts. Now, for a beginner, I would say 2 sets of 15. Intermediate, 3 to 4 sets. Advanced, 6 to 8 sets. And you really want to try to add some weights. And again, if you don't have the money to go out and buy weights, grab some bags, fill them up with sand. Those are fabulous, fabulous ways to work out without, again, having to get a pricey gym membership. Now, all the gym owners that are watching, I'm not saying don't join a gym. I'm just saying that you don't have to. There's no reason to not be working out. Good. Now, you can do 2 more from each side, okay?
Yep.
She's nice and focused. This is a new move to her. She's going to get some core work too. She's going to get her hip flexors are pulling in right now. Nice. Lower abs are working. Awesome. And when you're done your form, I'm going to have you come to a stand for me, okay? Great. Is this your last one?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, so come into a stand for me. Nice. Bring your feet together. All I want you to do is just jump rope. So when you're doing workouts at home, and if you don't have any cardio equipment, you want to always throw in some little intervals. So you could do your squats, you can jump your rope, you can do your jumping jacks, you can do mountain climbers. We're going to do a few different things today. I'm going to have her finish this, and then we're going to take a quick break so we can take these sweatshirts off so that she doesn't overheat for me. Good. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right, we're going to be right back in 1 second. We're going to grab a drink, we're going to take our sweatshirts off, and we're going to move to the ground. See you guys in a second. Hi everyone, we are back. Obviously we have moved to the mat, so if you don't have a mat, grab a towel or make sure that you're on a carpet or something so your hands, if they get slippery, you're not going to slip on a hardwood floor. I'm going to have you move into a plank for me. We're going to come into a high plank position, so her hands are going to be directly underneath her shoulders. She's going to lift up her body. Her feet are together. Her hips are solid. Her back is straight. She's looking forward. Now you can look forward. I'm going to get that bumblebee out of her face for her. Now I'm going to bring, there we go. So what you want to watch for on a plank is as you start to get tight, it's very common for the body to start to want to go down. You want to get comfortable. All we're doing right now is we're just doing a hold. So I'm starting out, I want to get a baseline as to what her strength level is at before we start adding some different moves in. Now she knows that if she needs a break at any time, she can go ahead and take a break. Perfect. I'm going to lift your hips up. So this is one of the things. It's great if you have like a mirror. You don't need to have a full fancy mirror, but you can grab a little mirror, have a workout partner, so you guys can kind of each watch each other. Because sometimes when you're doing these planks, you don't know that your back's starting to sag down. Perfect. Now go ahead and take a break for me. Now I'm gonna have her go into her child's pose. Child's pose is always gonna be the recovery for this. She's gonna stretch back into this. She's gonna take a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're gonna come back into that plank and we're gonna add a little bit of movement to it. Perfect. Now what I'm gonna have her do, I'm gonna keep adjusting. I'm gonna have her alternate lifting each leg off the ground. So you're gonna lift this leg up straight. Now what I want you to do is I want you to come back to your flat plank for me. Come back in flat. Good. Lifting up a little bit. Now when we lift that leg up, you're gonna lift it only about 3 inches off the ground. So you're gonna lift up. Perfect. Back down. Lift the other one up. Now as we're doing this, she's trying to find like how to move the body without shifting up. Now I want you to keep this leg straight for me. Yeah. Perfect, perfect. Tap back down. Other leg comes up straight. There. Feel the difference by keeping that body straight?
Yeah.
Can you talk at this point right now? Back down.
I think so.
Lifting up straight for me. Good. One more time on the other one. I'm going to have you take a quick break and come back down and go into your child's for me. Awesome. Now we're going to do that again. It's great to do like kind of a demo little run so you kind of can understand exactly what I want your body to do. So what I want you to do is I want you to just lift that leg up nice and straight for me. As straight as you possibly can. Keep in mind, it's a new move to you. I'm not looking for perfection on this, okay? Good.
And how far up?
About 3 inches up.
3 inches up.
So not even that high. So what I'm having you do is I'm going to shift body down. Perfect. Other side's going to come up. Nice. Tap back down. Other side immediately comes up. Up, tap down, up, tap down. There we go. Good. So we're engaging the lower part of the glutes, right where that hamstring and that glute tie-in's created. And I'm just going to be careful with her back that she doesn't start to raise up through the glutes because we don't want to lose that ab connection going on. Do you feel the difference when I push you up and down? Good. Give me 4 more. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now go into your child's recover. Child's pose is an amazing recovery pose. You get a good stretch. We want to take that pressure off her shoulders because they're bearing a big brunt of just holding your body, just holding it tight and strong. Now we're going to change the way we do this plank. We're going to have her come onto her elbows. And I don't know who we is when it's just me, so I don't know why I'm saying we're going to, but it's me. Perfect. Now you're going to come up into a plank for me. Now, in this position, I'm going to shift you down. I'm going to push your butt down. It is so common when everyone comes into a plank like this to, oh, there goes the booty, goes way up. But again, we don't want to lose that ab connection. It's so key. So all we're doing right now is a hold. Again, I want to see how her body lines up. I need to get to know the client before I can have them do things. Perfect. So I'm getting an idea of her core strength. Obviously, in one session, it kind of takes a little bit more, but you can kind of get a good gauge. I'm just going to smooth her shirt down so I can see if she's shaking at all. Good. Now I'm going to have you go into that child's pose for me and relax. Awesome. Shift back. I'm just going to stretch you out a little bit. Good. Take a nice couple deep breaths for me. Awesome. Now come back into that position. Come back up for me. Perfect. Nice. Now she caught herself on this one. She stopped right before those glutes went up in the air. Good job. Now we're going to do that same thing, that same tap, okay? So you're going to lift one leg up. Perfect. Other side up. And on this one, when you're in this position, it's okay if your glutes come up a little bit. You kind of really need to, unless you're super advanced and flexible and you can just rock this out. But she's not coming up to a point that I'm really worried about. Keep your head up, hun. We don't want that neck to get tired. Good. I'm going to put my hand just to kind of so that she knows exactly where I want her to lift. Nice. Give me 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fabulous. Child's pose for me. Awesome. Now after she comes into this child's pose, I'm going to have her relax, take a couple deep breaths, and I'm going to have her roll onto her back with her feet facing to the lifeguard stand for me. Good. Now we're going to shift down. Awesome. Why don't you scoot down a little bit? That way your hair is not laying in the sand. Now we're going to go into flat feet. Nice. Legs are nice and flat. You always want to keep your head relaxed. Arms are going to be to the side. Again, hand placement is really key when we're rocking through the abdominals. I'm going to have her turn her palms up. We're gonna engage into those little tiny muscles right underneath your rib cage. Now, all I want you to do is I want you to raise your body up just enough that your shoulders come off the ground. I wanna see how your body moves for me, okay? So go ahead, take a deep breath, raise up a little bit, and back down. Now, when you're coming up, I want those arms to move with you, okay? So we wanna really engage. Go ahead and pull up. Yes. Now we want to keep the legs straight.
Okay.
These type of moves are great to do with a beginner that's starting with me. I don't mean beginner exercise wise, but I need to see, okay, are the legs going to come up? Are their hips going to take over? Are the hip flexors weak? It's all these little things that kind of you want to, if you have a trainer, they should be watching for so that they're creating a program that's effective for you. Good. Now I'm going to have you come all the way down for me. I'm going to have you rest your hands right here. Relax your head, relax your neck, relax your shoulders. All these things. Now we're going to bring the feet straight up. So feet are going to come up together as one unit and they're going to come straight up so you're forming an L with your body. Good. Now, lock those knees for me. Now when you're in this move, you want to pull your toes down. Yes, so we're engaging everything. You're going to bring your feet down. You're going to stop. We're going to come back up. Okay?
Yeah.
Just like that. You can put your hands to the side now. If you want, wherever you're comfortable, and you can go ahead and turn your palms down. That'll help you relax your shoulders. Breathe for me. Now, when you come up, this is a common move that everyone will do too. Come up, you want to stop right here.
Okay.
Because I don't want your hip flexors to be doing all the work. I want you to use that core, and I want you to pull those toes down. So I could, if I needed to, when you come up here, I could put a plate right on top of your feet. Just use these little fun visuals. You could think of some other visual that's cuter maybe than a plate. Good. I'm gonna have you do one more.
And should the feet be coming all the way down to the stand? Should I be
Nope,
stopping?
you're gonna stop right there. Perfect. Now I want you to hold right here. And I want you to pull those toes in. Yes. Feel the difference in the engagement? So go ahead and point the toes for me now. And then pull your toes in. These type of things, go ahead and take a break for a second. These type of things, when you're pointing versus pulling in, learn to engage your body. And you'll kind of learn to recognize if you're out of form, or if you're not doing it properly, if something's not going, and that way you're not sitting on the ground doing 20 minutes of abdominals, you're not getting anything from it. You're actually getting a really good workout. Okay, so I want you to lift your feet up off the ground for me. Perfect, right there. I want your hands to come on. I love this move. This is a basic move that I have been doing for years and years and years. Now, all I want you to do is I want you to slide your hands up and I want your shoulders to come up off the ground. Now, I don't want you to grab your hands.
Should they be placed on my?
Right there. Okay. Now, this is a good indicator of some core strength, okay? So what she's gonna do, she's going to open her arms out like she's flying, hi, and you're gonna come back in. Now, I want you to relax your head a little bit. Not so it's hanging back, just right there, perfect. Coming back out, and I'll move so I'm not in the way. Come back in. Now I want you to pick up the pace, ready? Yes. We're engaging a lot of things. She's getting a little bit of a shoulder workout too, without having to use a single weight. Nice. Now when you come up with your arms, stop right at your shoulder. Yes. Come back in. 4 more. 4. Good. Here we go. My count. 3. Nice. 2. 1 more. Fabulous. Lay down on your back. Pull your knees into your chest. And you're going to hug right underneath your hamstrings and pull your knees right in. Just to kind of relax your back, because your back's doing a lot of work right now. When you work your core, keep in mind, guys, I've said this before, your core is more than just your abdominals. You gotta work your back also. It's all connected, which is why a lot of people won't be able to get a strong core because they don't work everything that they need to work. Okay, now you're gonna bring those legs back out for me. Hands are gonna come right to the side. Arms are gonna be nice and strong. Legs are gonna come up into the air. We're gonna bend. You're gonna stay right here. Now, what I'm gonna have you do, this is gonna be a little bit different, so I'm gonna kind of guide your body, is I want you to stay in this position, to come down, tap the outside heel, come back up. Now you're gonna tap the left heel. Left heel, yes, okay? Are we ready? Because I'm letting go, it's all you now.
Ready.
Okay. So this is a little bit different than like a typical knee drop move. I'm really not big on crunches. I don't really think that a lot of crunches will really work for, a typical person that's in the gym. I think that moves like this lengthen your body. They kind of avoid that whole widening effect that sometimes females will get if you look at them from the side. They're a little bit thicker through the middle. These type of moves really effective. Can you feel that?
I can feel that.
Yeah, good. Awesome. You're doing fabulous on this. Form is staying great. Notice her heels are not dropping. Her legs are in line. She is totally killing this move. Nice. Give me one more. And then you're going to come in. You're going to hug your knees in. Take a couple deep breaths. Now what we're going to do with that move is we're going to go to a double time. So you're going to tap, tap on each side. So, and then we're going to go a little bit faster.
So double tap on each side?
Yeah, we're going to really kind of fire up those abdominals now.
All right.
All right, so shifting back in, legs down. So you always want to take the time to position yourself correctly. And go ahead, you're going to go down.
And toes pointed up on this move?
Perfect, perfect. Love it. Nice. She's taking the time to stop for a second in the middle, making sure her spine's protected. Good. Relax your fingers. So you want to lay your fingers right down. At least you're not doing a death grip. That happens a lot. Awesome. Perfect. Your body's staying in perfect form right now. Love it. Good. You're going to do one more for me on each side, okay? Nice. Good. You're going to come in, hug those knees. And I always want to hug underneath. And the reason I say hug underneath is because sometimes people with knee problems will put too hard on their knees. And the knees are just a really complex, delicate joint. We don't want to do anything that's going to risk hurting them. All right, we're going to take one more break. We're going to kind of switch positions a little bit. We're going to grab a drink of water. Make sure you guys are getting a drink of water too, especially if you're outside. And we'll be right back in 1 second. Of this show, we're going to work on some balance moves. Balance is so important in any type of functional movement programs, any type of programs whatsoever, because balance helps you create flexibility, it helps you create strength, it helps you create, believe it or not, endurance. So we're going to do just a couple little things, and especially when we're on the sand, this is such a great way to do it. So she's going to stand on her right leg. We're going to take it down to wherever she's able to without bending that leg. Okay, go ahead. Perfect. Come back up. Now, she has a little bit of a bend. That's fine. Come back up for me. Nice. And go right back down into that move. Love it. Now, sand. Shaky. It's okay if you fall. It's to be expected. Now, sometimes when a person's knee bends a little bit, they just don't have the hamstring flexibility. That's okay. That just gives you an idea. This is what I need to work on. Good. Now, I'm going to shift her body just a little bit. I'm going to push down on this hip. You want to try to keep your hips straight on this. You don't want to be tilting over. We want to work. Come back up for me. Come back down. Now, I want you on this next one, I want you to keep your legs super straight for me. Okay? Good. Now, come back up. Now, we're going to change it just a little bit. You're going to bend that back knee. Okay? So go ahead for me. Now we're going to bend that back knee. She's going to kick up towards the sky with her heel. So let me bend. There we go. Flatten that foot. So yes, love it. Come back down. Good. Now give me 4 of those, okay? I'm stepping away. It's all you. So we're working the glutes again too. She's getting core work. We're working on that hamstring flexibility. That hamstring creates such a nice long line in a woman's body. Good. Is this your last one?
Last one.
All right. Come back up. Now we're going to go to the left leg. Second leg's always harder, guys. And you're going to start with the first movement we just did, okay? So there's no bend to the knee. And this is a great way when you're working with a client for someone, you can kind of start to figure out where their flexibility is. Of course, there's numerous other tests, but I like simple little tests like this. So I can tell, needing to work on some core strength. We want to avoid that hip tilt. Good. Come back up for me. 4 more like this. Deep breaths. Now I want you to straighten that leg. So her left hamstring is tighter than her right hamstring. Come back up. Very common, especially with women. Why? Because what do? We stand like this. or we hold our kids. Go ahead and finish those for me. 3 more. So when you're standing, you want to own your space, which is why a lot of times you'll see me just stand feet out and I look like I'm Superwoman. In my mind anyways. Maybe not anyone else's, but in my mind I do. Now you're going to bend that foot for me, okay? That leg. Good. Now come back down. Now I want you to come back down for me. Perfect. I'm going to change you a little bit. I'm going to push on this hip without pushing you over.
Okay.
And I want you to straighten those hips as you come down. Now it's harder to do that, isn't it?
It is.
Because you're focusing on the move. Give me 2 more. 1 more.
But I can feel that difference.
Yeah,
already.
good. Come back up. All right, take a break for me. Now, normally we would do a lot more balance moves and stuff, but we don't have time today, but we always have other shows that we're gonna do. So right now we're gonna simply stretch, okay? Make sure, guys, when you're doing these at home, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't need to stretch. I didn't lift any weights. I didn't do anything. Everybody needs to stretching. Stretching, again, increases your muscle growth, increases your flexibility. Those are when you start to see the changes in your bodies. You gotta be doing it. So all I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna take you 1 foot cross in front of the other, and you're gonna reach down to where you're able to. Drop your head. Just relaxing, just holding it. Normally, if we were at a gym, I'd have her do 8 to 10 minutes of stretching, sometimes 15 to 20 if we have time. Come back up nice and easy, switching sides. Back down, good. But obviously right here is very abbreviated. We're doing something very quickly. Come back up to a stand. Now she is not done stretching by any means, but I want to thank you so much for coming up. You did awesome. I hope you enjoyed it.
I very much did.
Good, awesome. You guys, I will see you guys next week. Have a happy, safe Labor Day. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
You were awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
Definitely.